Yeah, please know what about this deck or that deck though. Or this card or that card. We've talked about every single one to death. Red White Hammer, huh? Page Lures with Steel Play of CMC was 1 or 0. I mean, yeah. The Elementals nerf the bridge. Bridge from Below gets exiled if an opponent's creature dies. And Elementals are a 0 mana creature dying to exile the bridge. I need to cycle this ice. What if they hit something from Hammer? Hammer doesn't need a hit. Hammer is like a deck that's currently like even somewhat out of favor. If that thing, if anything, should be Lurrus. I don't know. I think that banning Kid Grixis up to a Lurrus ban, yes, for sure. Like deck, yeah, we were talking about this earlier, but deck building gets interesting for Shadow, in my opinion, with the Lurrus ban instead of just being Spike. You're playing Lightning Bolt. What is this? Shadow plays 2 Fatal Push, 3 Unholy Heat, or 4 Unholy Heat. You can play one of those 2. You can do a 3/3 split. You can't play any Lightning Bolts. You can play 1 maybe sometimes with 3 Lightning Bolts. What are you doing? You get to like have like so much more interesting deck building conversations. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, the Lutri video is really fun on Channel Fireball. Spike is saying, I can play lights. I do play Lightning Bolts. I've got like 3 or 4 trophies with Shadow lately too, with the bolts. Would current Lurrus decks be able to compete with 4-color value piles? Well, here's the thing. It's like the Lurrus decks are good against the linear decks. The 4-color value piles are good against the the 4-color value piles are good against the Lurrus style strategies, and then the linear decks are good against the 4-color piles. That's kind of like a rock paper scissors that we have in Modern, and that dynamic really doesn't change with the Lurrus ban. Is that these low to the ground decks are good against the linear decks. Linear decks good against Omnath. Omnath decks good against the other decks. Yeah, it's just not going to change. So I bet anything. I think that Lurrus does too much for too little. You know what I mean? Like getting this powerful effect for almost like no deck building changes in this deck, in Red Black Rock, in Grixis Shadow, Jund Saga. You know, like just there's so many mill, burn. Like this card is so present because it doesn't like its downside is almost not a downside in so many decks, and it's a really powerful effect too. And it just is, it is too efficient. Lurrus is too efficient for the cost it has. It is too efficient. Usually when you talk about cards being too efficient, you're talking about the mana cost. But Lurrus's deck building restriction is not enough of a cost, and it just does too much for too little. And it's really hard to argue that Lurrus doesn't do too much for too little. Like, I think that, you know, Modern is kind of a format of cards that are like really efficient, but I think Modern is just, Lurrus is just a tier above what should be acceptable in my opinion. Yeah, I also agree Modern's really good right now. You don't need to ban Lurrus, but I do believe that it should go. I'm a believer that it's time. But if you disagree with me, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. Make sure that you make a mean TikTok about me before you leave though. I could get Vile decks to be playable again. Vile decks are playable. Merfolk is a good deck. Humans is underplayed. Spirits is, like, I think, quietly somewhat playable. I got crushed by it yesterday. Really, the answer, if just let your Vile get prismatic ending sometimes. I don't know what to say. Just let your Vile, just take the 1-for-1 trade. You spend a mana, they spend a mana, the game continues. I've played Vile decks recently. I can't offer you any more advice than that. Just the game continues. You spend a mana, they spend a mana. Future 5 turn 5 draw and turn 5 draw. Yeah. Obviously, like, ending is a good card against Vile, but it's just like the Vile is just not this like it used to be like there's just no good way to interact with Vile, and it was just like incredibly powerful because it was so obnoxious. You know what I mean? It was just like such a nightmare for anybody to deal with. But now there's like a good clean answer to it. I think that that's somewhat healthy, and I think Vile players need to get over it. Ragavan 27% of decks a good thing. No, I'm not a Ragavan apologist. Ragavan is not a well-designed card. That being said, it is not in 27% of decks, I think. I think that that's just MTG Goldfish data, right? So if you look at Goldfish, the way they organize decks is, you know, by a certain number of like differences in cards, right? And like just like I think more Ragavan decks are more likely to get published because like there are so many variants of what is, you know, essentially the same deck. If that makes sense. Yeah, I know Goldfish shows 34% Ragavan. I'm saying that Goldfish's data is... Oh, no, I fucked up so bad. Oh, I need to steal the sick artist data response. Oh, that's what I get for not talking too much. Sorry. I had so many ways to avoid this. No, stealing hammer in response doesn't work, right? No, it still attaches it. I need to draw something here. I missed. No, yeah, stealing hammer doesn't. It still attaches it, yeah, because it entered under their control. I can't steal Ink Moth. Sorry, chat. That was just like very clear cut, distracted play. Take full responsibility. Cutting the spirals is kind of awkward because I go down on green cards. Maybe I'll just cut the counter spells. 1 counter spell, 3 spiral. This is just round 1. 15 months. Yeah, but MTG Goldfish is not accurate data of the metagame because of the way Magic Online releases deck lists. They release deck lists when cards are 15 cards apart. So decks like Hammer Time, Blue-White Control, like these, you know, most archetypes are not going to be 15 cards different. There's so many like Ragavan variants that are essentially the same archetype that are 15 cards different. So like Ragavan is not in 35% of decks, and I think. I don't, but yeah, there is no accurate data. Like, the accurate data for, like, what the percentage of decks are in Modern does not exist. And that is by design. Wizards doesn't want you to have perfect data about any format because they think that formats become too easy to solve with perfect data. And I think that's a fine take that they have. I had a hardcast time to blue. I didn't need to concede. I had already passed the blocker step. I know I fucked up. I had already passed the blocker step. I promised you I was dead. Stockholm to go to 5 months. Appreciate you. I know I messed up, but I was in fact dead there. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ice their lands, pay for Sentinel, and even if they hammer me, I'm gonna get a big explosives off next turn. Hard to lose this game, probably. Yeah, I can hear Bus Force combo. There's real difference to people who research have shown that people assume a lot about formats may be untrue if they have perfect information about the meta. People assume a lot about formats that may be untrue if they have perfect about yeah, I do think it is good that there is not perfect info. Or, you know, it's also like, even if you had perfect data about the percentage of decks being played, right? That's still not going to give you an exact image, because like deck selection in Modern is not often perfect. You know, people are not just playing the best deck. People are addicted to jank in Modern. You know what I mean? They're addicted to their pet decks, and And obviously, it would give you a better idea. But yeah, it would not be perfect info. If with Sigarda's trigger on the stack, you steal the hammer, equip fizzles. So I don't think it does, because if you read Sigarda's aid, it says if an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach it to a creature you control. And so that trigger is on the stack for the hammer. If you steal the hammer, it's still entered under their control. The trigger for that hammer is still on the stack. I'm under the impression that if you steal the hammer, it does not go. It still gets attached to the creature that the trigger is targeting. Maybe we could call a judge and see if that is true, but I am under that impression. Yeah, I could have stolen the Sigarda's aid. I could have blocked the Inkmoth Nexus. I could have done anything besides what I did to win. I didn't, and I apologize. Yeah, I got flustered. I should have stolen the aid in response. I was busy monologuing, and what I thought the game was wrapped up. I wasn't as focused as I should be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I always feel so bad about these mistakes. I mean, why would my opponent ever concede after I punted a game where they were super behind game one? Is this thing that's unplayable if it gets banned? Yeah, there's not really much of a reason to play it. They forget they don't have Sigarda's aid in play anymore? Probably not. Maybe I should actually hardcast this. It's by catchphrase. You know what? Hardcasting here actually seems pretty good. If I had an action figure, that's what it would say. I guess I could have overpaid there to get an extra token, but I've got stuff to use my mana on. Yeah. Cyberplane felt pretty good too. I could see trimming a shark, especially on the draw, though. Play 2 counter spells on the draw. Or the third spiral. Maybe, yeah, let's play third spiral because it's another green card for force. You want to know my opinion on Gruul? You have to be more specific. Gruul, you know, are you talking about the Gruul Delirium deck I brewed up? Ponza? Something else? A little more specific. I did do my Wordle today, yeah. I had pretty bad luck. I got, my guesses were not going well. I got on the 4th try, though. Mid-range? Hard deck to build. Hard deck to build. There is maybe a good build out there that's somewhat undiscovered. Has some really hard matchups, though. Like Living Ends, Belcher. It's kind of hard to reconcile those matchups too, or all of them. Gruul Luke Emrakul. That deck is pretty cool, yeah. My thoughts on Gruul politics. I hear Rurik Thar just introduced a piece of no counter legislation. Probably vote for Rurik Thar. Rurik Thar would probably be better than the current system Ravnica has. Thoughts on Force of Despair? It's not really that good since it's just so bad against Violent Outburst, right? So many cards, that would usually be good against Cascade decks are much weaker to Violent Outburst or Violent Outburst plus Force. They did needle the explosives on turn 1. They did see 2 copies last game, so can't be too surprised by that. They're very likely to have one of them Pure Steel Paladins this turn, huh? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to ice there. Sunbake Canyon to stop them from making a token this turn. Unless their 2 cards are going to be untapped land plus 0 mana artifact creature. Which I don't think I'm supposed to... You know, just good beats if those are their cards. Oh, I guess they could have sacked their Canyon to draw a card. That was maybe... I guess I probably should have targeted this then. Didn't get punished. Blue-red grinding station. That deck's fine. Jiggy Wiggy's, who's been working really hard on the list, has been in the chat a lot lately. If they're here, they could give you their opinion on how it is right now. Good guess. The dark. It wasn't the dark. Like we showed them 2 explosives last game. Okay, so not going for a token. Surprising to see no token when they like mulligan so low. They do get an Ornithopter to tap to drum. Then they're cast Pure Steel Paladin. I'm just going to counter it. I think. Yeah. They have 2 Paladins. So I can bolt this Ornithopter, so if their last card is Paladin, they have to draw untapped white source. I think that plays around their last card being second Paladin the best. Drew both explosives against their turn 1 Needle, unfortunately. I'd like to draw a Force of Vigor. Beautiful. We'd love to see it. Why would it doesn't instead of 9th blue fetch? Oh, we should just be playing 9th blue fetch. Sorry. I think earlier drafts of this list had like multiple forests and abundant growth. When I was working on the deck list, and so that's kind of like one of those classic relics of an older version that didn't get changed because I missed it. But I was working on this list with Ice Fang and multiple abundant growths and multiple basic forests. At one point, a basic mountain. Just missed the Wooded Foothills being worse than another blue fetch. Are beans a breakfast food? They are in Texas. I don't know about elsewhere, but they definitely are around here. Kind of a weird call to play out the monkey there. Might be a sign of them giving up. Yeah, I would say beans are like definitely a breakfast food. I'd be surprised if people in chat like, oh, beans for breakfast? Oh, speaking of Wordle though, that is my Wordle starting word is beans. My top card's Typhoon. Let's counter this. Mine's Cloud. That's a good one, yeah. A do gang? Yeah, I have to get the 3 vowels. I have to get the 3 vowels in the first word. I like beans because it's funny. Makes me laugh. Keep up a counterspell here. I sure hope I draw a counterspell. I drew a counterspell. Kind of surprised I'm not running any Flooded Groves. I have, I mean, the double green cards are only in the sideboard, right? I don't have a basic forest. So if I had basic forest, I'd be running Flooded Groves. But Flooded Groves are also bad with Red and 6 too. And the double green cards are only sideboard cards. It's not that hard to get double green for 3 and 4 mana spells too. Alright, despite that silly punt in game 1, we got the match. I mean, we've played 8 matches today. The stream's been going for 3.5 hours. These decks are always so fun, but the matches are so long. We're playing against Yorion. What is Wordle? It's an online word game that you can play. The goal is there. You have it's 5 blank letters And the goal is to guess the 5-letter mystery word. And like when you guess, it'll tell you if the letter you guessed is in the word, if it's in the right location, or if it's not in the word at all when you guess a letter. And then you have 6 guesses. And yeah, I feel like it's been pretty popular on MTG Twitter. It's like kind of a fad. A lot of people are getting into it. It's been fun. I've been playing it. Got a turn 2 Ren. I gotta ice him. It's a game show in UK. That's cool. I didn't know that. UK's got some cool game shows. We played 2 of these Yorion matches earlier, which is part of the reason why the stream has been it's taken a long time today. We are currently 2-0 against these Yorion decks. We kind of just go over the top of them. I think I just hold up mana here. I'm gonna try to brew Karuga. Karuga is not permanence value 2 or less. It is spells, so it doesn't work. Or 3 or less. Rin 6 is also like the best card in this list. Look up Absurdal. It's Wordle against an adversarial AI that changes the word every round. Sounds hard. I'll probably have to discard 2 cards here. Hope they don't have a counterspell. They don't usually play that many counterspells. Some versions like just play none. Although counterspell versions have been more common lately, for sure. I just need to bolt this at some point. I can mostly ignore it, I think. That plan was working earlier. Obviously, if they don't have counterspell, jamming is really good, but I think I can afford to go... Oh, I guess I need the main phase of Spiral, actually, to not discard a card. Yeah, I need the main phase of Spiral. But I can, ideally, go Reclamation with Counterspell up next turn. Then talk about the upcoming BR next Tuesday. Yeah, that's all we've been talking about. I've also been shitposting on Twitter a little bit about it, so... You might enjoy that. Probably drawing 2 here. Could bolt the Ren. And ice. Kind of like draw 2 instead. Oh, let's actually make a shark. This way, if they do have double counter, we at least get to poke the Ren and not die. Angry Jellyfish Games, thank you for the gifted sub. It's nice of you. I think if Ragavan is banned, if Loris is banned, Ragavan's played yet less. Yeah, I do think that that'll be the case. Ragavan will still be a huge format staple. Don't get it twisted though. Okay. We take those. We take those. You said Urglear is bad design. Do you think Urza Saga same category? Yeah. Urza Saga is also bad design. Modern is full of cards that aren't designed that well, though. Red and 6 not that well designed. Reclamation not that well designed. It's the whole format. But yeah, I'm not like saying yeah, Ragavan should not have dash. Ragavan just should not have dash. Red and 6 should start with 1 less loyalty, in my opinion. I don't know if I don't have like a hot take on Reclamation, I guess, but yeah, not great design cards. Yeah, Teferi is also not good. You know, there are tons of poorly designed cards. We don't need to just sit and list them, but yeah. What I consider a well-designed Magic card: Growth Spiral, Charm, Counterspell, Fire Eyes. Body Growth, Prismatic Ending, just to name the ones on the board. Castle Vantress. Sort of Power, 23 months, appreciate you. General Rockrick, I like that card a lot. Gaedrone. Lutri. Lutri is great design. Lutri is so good. Polar Kraken. Yoko Mordor. For some deeper cuts. Yeah, everybody say a card in chat you think Ending is well designed. I absolutely do. I absolutely think Ending is well designed. I absolutely do. There are plenty of cards that Endings is not good against. Like in this matchup, like Ending is like so weak in this matchup. Ending is so weak against Reanimator. It's so weak against many strategies. I think that Ending is good against a lot of people's pet decks, so they're like, Ending is a horribly designed card, but it is just so fair. Technically with the 5-pack, appreciate you. It's so fair. You spend an amount of mana, and then your opponent has to spend the same amount of mana at sorcery speed to answer it. It is just, I think it is a great design. Super fair, in my opinion. And if you got any card advantage off of any ETB effect on this card you play, you're ahead in that exchange. Yeah, I do like Wandering Mind. Yeah. Just play 6 drops. Ending is bad design now. I mean, honestly, like 3 to 5 mana spells, Ending's not that good against. Like Ending's really good against 1 and 2 drops. 3 mana sorcery speed answered is like usually not very good. Like answering Teferi is nice, but a lot of times people will minus first, and you'll get 2 for 1 off of it. It's not like a great exchange for you. This matchup has felt really good so far. We're 2-0 against it earlier. This is a new build of this deck though. Let me get some more water. Alright, keep this. My problem with Ending is its optimal response to decks that used to punish 4 and 5 color. It's an optimal response to decks that used to punish 4 and 5 color. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. It's Ending is very good, but Ending is very fair. The card is just super reasonable, I feel. If you disagree, that's fine. But I just feel the card is so fair. Upkeep Ice. I think so. Are we 2-0? In this league, we are 1-0 up a game. MTG Bot says I am 2-0. It's that has changed. That number. This was saying game 3 for a while. It's still inaccurate, but it's weird that it changed. Yeah, like this is something that I think a lot of people we talked about this a lot lately, but for most of Modern's history, threats have been much better than answers. Threats have been much better than answers for most of Modern's history. Like, but I think that's been slowly changing over the last few years as cards like Fatal Push, Magmatic Sinkhole was like a big one, I feel, Drown in the Lock. Like very slowly answers start to catch up, and then Modern Horizons 2 I think is when answers have like matched threats or maybe surpassed them a little bit. But with Prismatic Ending, Fury Solitude, the answers seem to have like finally caught up to the threats for the first time, and I do feel like people are resistant to it, but I think that there needs to be a balance of threats and answers. What's good is like the threats aren't good against everything, of course, right? The answers are the threats. I mean, sometimes. Like I know you could cast Fury and Solitude as a creature, but I mean, these aren't like necessarily like format defining super threats either. Like this version of a Temur Yorion. Yeah, I think that Yorion, like this deck already draws so many cards I think Yorion's unnecessary. I think the consistency that it diminishes does not outweigh the power level increase it offers. Guess I'm going for a counterspell here. I do feel like my opponent's got a counterspell up of some kind. So if I draw Veil... That's an interesting card. I think I'm going to just pass. I think the problem is what you are describing for with Deathrite Shaman, where people were playing the threats are the same people who are playing the answers. What does that mean? The same people? I don't understand. I think the problem is like what you were describing before with Deathrite Shaman, where the people playing the threats are the same people playing the answers. I don't understand. I'm sorry. And maybe you could elaborate a little bit. Like you get to do it all? You don't get to do it all. I don't agree that you get to do it all. I don't know what that means either. Like no Solitude, Fury, Prismatic Ending, Unholy Heat. These cards are not good against every threat in the format. These threats, all of these cards have weaknesses and are not good against everything. They are like specifically good against some things, and maybe they're good against your pet deck, right? But I'm sorry for you. You got a 1-mana counterspell. You said even this Shaman would go with Rags Chandler in this deck. I guess yeah. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like talk down. I just want to understand. They have Force of Vigor? Solitude Ephemerate. Deal. Deal. Like the best decks have the best threats and the best answers in it at the same time. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, although it's like, I don't think you get to play all of the best threats and all the best answers in the same deck. Like, look at this Yorion deck. Like, it plays like, it is a pile of value and card advantage and creature removal, but it is super weak against decks that don't care that much against creature removal. Like, our deck right now. Like, our deck does not care about creature removal almost at all, and because of that, we have a great matchup against this Yorion deck, because so much of their deck is just dirtle do nothing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But yeah, you do get to play good threats and good answers in any of these like mid-range aggro, you know, tempo decks, whatever. That is true. I think I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, answers in Modern were so bad that at one point you couldn't just, like, Deceiver Exarch was such a nightmare to answer because it had 4 toughness. Absolutely. What answers does Hammer have? I mean, Hammer is a bit different, but Hammer does have removal spells, and it has access to removal spells. Yeah, they answer your life total. I think it was something you said the other day. People want to unban Deathrite Shaman to buff decks against the top decks, but don't consider the top decks would also play unban card. Yeah, for sure. I guess I'm just kind of still failing to understand how like these points are connected, but we could move on maybe. Think Twin be a healthy unban? So for a while I thought Twin would be a good unban. Then I play tested it with Caleb D, and I'm now of the opinion that it would not be a healthy unban. I think it would be too good. Yeah, this matchup against Yorion seems very good. What is this? Solitude, probably. Fracturing Gust! It's pretty good. They have one unknown card. One of their 2 cards is Yorion. Alright, opponent's still playing. Still playing. The main reason to not attack here is too lazy, by the way. Deck's been winning a lot today. We lost playing at 4-0, then we lost at 1-1, now we're about to be 2-1. These matches are taking a long time, though. The twin feels strong against everything in my testing. I mean, you can watch, like, the whole video, but me and Caleb each built a version of twin. My version 5-0'd against... I'm trying to remember what the matchups were. It was, like, Rhinos, Hammer Time, Blue-White Control, Blue-Red Murktide. Maybe someone else remembers what the other... There's one other... Elementals. And, like, these are decks with, like, Solitude, Unholy Heat. These are, like... There were I think, 3 Solitude decks? 2 or 3 Solitude decks. It was, And the Blue-Red Twin list I was playing Ragavan in it, and Ragavan was really, really strong in the archetype, it seemed, by the way. Is adding white for Teferi and Rin out of the question? The mana, it probably works, but it gets worse. And you know, it is true that ending and Teferi being sorcery speed spells are, you know, maybe not ideal. I have played Bance Reclamation recently. You can do it, you know, but I think I'm of the opinion that this is a better version. Probably keep this against Yorion. Black seems quite good to me. What makes it tier for me? What makes it tier 3 is that it's worse than blue and red and white. You know, black is fine. Black is none of the colors are, like, unplayable. But just, like, the things that white and red and blue offer are better than the black at the moment, in my opinion. Damn it. It's not the same pile. At least the matchup would be faster. But probably not better. I think Abundant Harvest underplayed. No, I don't think Abundant Harvest is that good in Modern. 4-1 into 2-0. No, we did a 1-1 drop. So I think it's the 9th. Think Ragavan needs a ban? No. I would not be sad to see Ragavan go, but I don't think it needs a ban. I'm not crying any tears if Ragavan leaves. There was no mono green cards to see play. That's just not true. Endurance, Primeval Titan, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Elvish Reclaimer, Tarmogoyf. Abundant Growth's really popular. Is that a mono green card though? I think it is. Yeah, Force of Vigor is really popular. Hardened Scales. Veil of Summer. How cold did it get last night? That's pretty cold. It's been below freezing most days recently. What changes would I make to our Modern if I had full control? Ban Luris, unban Bridge from Below, and maybe Pod, maybe not Pod. I think I'm attacking. Bring back Hogak. Yeah, there's some opinions that are just completely deranged, like bring back Hogak. It's like, okay. Okay, yeah, bring back Hogak. Ooh, let's do it. Okay. Yeah, man, it'll definitely do that. Brack really needs a turn 1 threat. It has what's the card? It's the Rogue. The flash 1 mana creature that quickly becomes a 3/2. That card's not that bad. It's not that good either, maybe. We got Maul of the Skyclaves. Please put that on the Esper Sentinel. I haven't stolen enough from you yet. Yeah, Thieves Guild Enforcer. That card's okay. It's not Ragavan or DRC level, but yeah. Unban Hogak and Ayavugan are just like deranged opinions that are just, it's just like, okay. That's a hot take. Congrats, you filled your hot take quota for the day. Let's, can we have a real conversation now? Nebo with the 60 months, appreciate you. Am I crazy to find that Uro is fine without Oko? Yeah. I mean, you know, you can have opinions, but I've played as much Uro as much with and against Uro as anybody else did, and that card is too good. As soon as an Uro enters the chat, the entire game for the rest of the game is about that Uro. And it's like, the cards that are good against Uro are not good against the rest of the Uro decks, usually, which is a huge problem, I usually feel. I think Bloodchief's Thirst at instant speed would be too powerful. I think it would be pushing it, yeah. Might be, you know, close. It's close. So ideally, they put the Maul on the Sentinel I get to steal. Why not Uro? Why not play Uro Man Control? Uro? That's the like bulk mythic from Theros Beyond Death, right? So opponent's hand is Maul Yorion mystery card. Oh yeah. That bit goes on for too long, I think. Their hand is Maul. Oh, they can Stoneforge Mystic the Maul. Please put this on the Sentinel. Prismatic ending deals with the Uro, so does Solitude, not enough. Yeah, this is the thing that people somehow still don't understand about Uro after the card being legal in Modern for like 6 months, something like that. Removal spells are not good against Uro. When you Prismatic ending an Uro, you're getting 3 for 1. You know what I mean? Removal spells are not good against Uro. Yeah, I think I want them to attack the Archon because I'm trying to just kill him next turn. Like, the cards that are good against Uro are, like, Remand, Surgical Extraction, Narset, Parter of Veils. Teferi, Time Raveler is fine. Like, these are the cards that are good against Uro. It's not, like, it's not removal spells. Like, you would have people path Uro with the escape, with the sacrifice trigger on the stack. You would play Uro on turn 3, and people would path it. And Uro would just be a 3-mana 4 for 1, right? It was just like, it was absurd. Okay, please no Flicker Wisp. Next, I'll white card and burn my Solitude to answer an Uro trigger on the stack. This 4 for 1 is good. Yeah, of course, it's good. Okay. Skyclave is fine. They need to chump. They need to, there's saying, I don't think you got the bolt, Spike. I don't think you got it. You don't got the guts, you don't got the heart, you don't got the bolt. But I got all those things. Croxa is fine. Yeah, Croxa is fine. Yeah, Croxa is like a balanced, reasonable magic card. A pretty well-designed one. Uro is a Maniacs card. What can I say? Uro, a card for Maniacs. That was game 1. Is Record Tracker up yet? No. I will. It's, you know, Broken Clock is correct at the moment. I do something like this. Best you why you're not running Manlands. Castle Vantress and Kitria Triome are better utility lands in this deck. With Reclamation. And you are limited to the number of, like, you can't really play Castle Vantress and all these islands for your fetch lands and Hall of the Storm Giants because you're playing Wrenn and 6. So, like, I feel that 6 blue lands is like the hard limit you can play in this archetype, and it's honestly a little high. Like ideally, I'd like to get that number down to 5, but I think you need the 4th basic land. The Wizard has 10 Giants plan. It rejected 8 others because they were too powerful. It sounds like a story you tell your children at night. But a mold to 5. It's good news for us, I guess. 800 more views than Bob Ross. Oh yeah, they play Bob Ross VODs on Twitch. It's pretty cool. I was like, Bob streaming from the great beyond. Might steal this and violin my Kihira. I think I've only cast Kihira once today. So we did see my opponents playing Ephemerate, so I think I'm just gonna zap this main phase. What does Grixis Shadow look like if Lurrus gets banned? That's the thing. If Lurrus gets banned, we get to have some fun building Shadow. We get to do some, like, it's gonna be like fun deck building. We could play Murktide Regent. We can play Street Wraith. We can play a lot of interesting options. You know what I mean? Oh, I should have played the castle because of Archon. I'm always so bad about playing around Archon. I'm gonna yank this though. They have a 2-drop? Why wouldn't you vial that in on your turn? I guess they're just tapping. They're just tapping the vial. Good play. Yeah, we get to like have cool, interesting conversations about deck building in Shadow instead of just like, Spike, you're playing 3 lightning bolts? Are you out of your mind? Are you completely deranged that you're playing 3 lightning bolts in in Shadow? This is, you've lost your mind, Spike. This is ridiculous that you're playing 3 lightning bolts. I just don't understand. What's the thought process here behind the 3 lightning bolts? We can actually talk about, oh, how many Street Wraith do we play? Is Street Wraith good? Is there tension with Street Wraith and Murktide Regent? What's going on? What's the deal? You know? It'll be fun. I'm excited. Yeah, exactly. What's the mana base like with Murktide? Is Murktide worth it? Because there's tension with Street Wraith. The mana base is wild, Spike. What are we doing here? And we get to find out together. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I'm excited. They just want to strike goal, you know. Yorion me. That's a cute companion you got there, Yorion. I got one better for you. Go, Kihira! Get in there! Uh-oh. We're drawing a few too many lands, perhaps. It's okay. We got the scry. Got them scries. Yeah, oh, yeah, I bet somebody's got Aether Vials altered as Pokeballs. It's pretty good. You gonna steal their Vial back? Oh, Flicker Yorion's pretty good, actually. They can get my Wilderness Rack, but they might Flicker Wisp their own Yorion. Oh, I guess this. Yeah, never mind. I still get the untap, actually. Let's take the Spiral. It's pretty free here. Good play. So what are they going to Flicker Wisp? Buff into Vile to bluff Hullbreaker Horror. I don't know. There's probably some mind games we could play with Vile here that I'm not gonna devote brain power to. Okay, so I'm gonna need to use my fire on the Wisp, I think. Mung, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm gonna draw a lot of cards at this Yorion. Oh yeah. Well, who knows what the creature type on Hullbreaker Horror is? I feel like Kihira's sheltering. Kihira's out here sheltering dinosaurs. Why does Kihira not want to shelter, Kraken horrors, huh? It's kind of rude of Kihira to turn down the Kraken horrors. What can I say? Oh, dude, Kraken horror sounds like something else. Am I okay with getting my castle ghost quartered here? You're not supposed to say what it sounds like. I think I'm gonna get it ghost quartered. Supposed to laugh together, you know. Hee 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 hee. I didn't design the card, alright? I'm just calling it like I see it. Just calling it like I see it. Yeah, we have so many. I mean, it's not the worst that we're drawing so many lands because my opponent is they be destructing them for sure. They sure. Fuck. Ah. Sorry, I haven't played against Arbiters much lately. Embarrassing. I was like, it already got me once. It can't get me again. Yeah, I really think it should prompt you. I agree. I think that they need to do that more of the prompts. It's like, I think it is dumb that every single player gets got by Leaning Arbiter the first time they play against it. It's so it's like this is the only card that you have to click on. You have to click on this card to pay for it before you pay. It's so poorly templated in my opinion. Not just obviously you get got by it more than just the first time, but every player gets got by it the first time. It's like really not good. Hasn't been changed. It didn't change there. I got by it. Should always yield to this.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Need to pop this while I've paid for the Arbiter, I guess. I think I can hardcast Cauldron here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's worse than that. Indestructible until your next turn. I guess I sold my 4/4 Shark, huh? I got an Archmage's Charm to steal. Probably need this like a red because of the Ghost Quarter. Can you fetch the stacked and click Arbiter? Yeah, but just before the ability resolves. This is game 2, we're up a game. Thankfully we have a bolt for that giver. What's it gonna cost to ship this trophy Brazil? I mean, whatever it costs, right? I'm happy to do it. But someone said it's gonna be like around $100 or so. It's not gonna be that bad. If it's more, it's fine. But that's what I'm expecting to pay. I think I take ice counterspell. I've got 2 deluges in the yard. I definitely need to bolt this now. Yeah, if they go for the equip on Batterskull this turn, we can ice this turn. And then if they go for the... If they play a spell, we can counterspell. Dahlia lets me draw an extra card with Deluge. Is it expensive to mail to Canada? It's going to be more expensive than mailing to the States, but yeah, I imagine less expensive than Brazil because distance, but actually it's probably about the same distance. No, it's got to be closer to Canada. From Canada to Texas, from Texas to Brazil, it's probably a little closer to Canada. Friends and working companies that commercially ship W ship. Okay, I'll take a look into it. It's a lot closer, yeah. I'm not sure. Also depends on where in Brazil, right? Brazil is gigantic. If it's like the north of Brazil or south, it's just hugely different, right? But like when it's Canada, you can kind of guarantee it's going to be, you know, somewhat north in Canada. What is this attack? They have no cards in their hand. What am I missing? What is this attack? Chump Block Germ Token, eat the Yorion, trade Angels. And then I could fire, kill Germ Token, kill Thalia. You get the Breeding Pulse, so I have a basic for Ghost Quarter, I think, is important. What is that attack? Yeah, 90% of Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. In Brazil, they're all over the country, huh? Could be anywhere. 4, 8 mana. I'm tired of this game. I'll just attack. The hardest choices require the strongest wills. Especially because like they could have equipped the Batterskull to like actually have a good attack there. They just didn't. They've been playing pretty well before that. That's obviously hard to like not make like a mistake like that in this 30-minute match. I'm not 90% of Canadians. Bummer. How far north do you live then? 101 miles. Bolt Skyclave. I'll bolt the Skyclave in response to the equip is my plan. Make them sink that 5 mana, and I can Flashback Deluge. Were they trying to bluff? No, they had no cards in their hand. There's no bluff there. Archon is an annoying card. I think I'm gonna counter it. Okay, now I've got the bolt, so I'll just use the bolt then. Maybe we could swing there. I think not swinging, so like they're kind of forced to equip is better. It's fine. I'm just gonna flashback the Deluge. Find a charm. Maybe I don't have charms anymore. No charms, no charm. A lot of 10%ers from Canada in the chat. Pretty cool. It is kind of sick how people just from all over the world get to come in and hang out and chat every day. It's really it freaks me out when I think about it in a good way. You know, like Harry MTG in England and Mangu in Italy and Gab in France, you know. Got, you know, Principe and Menino Ne in Brazil, Ginger in Canada. It's pretty sick. I'm just an old Texas boy. Just doing my best, huh? Alright, I have exactly 14. One's gonna make me click through it. Yeah, the Gathering, huh? The Gathering. Okay, 3-0. This deck is performing really well, but, you know. Matches are long. How did Esther's family end up in Texas? I've told the story a couple times. It's honestly pretty wild. Where Esther's family is from Azerbaijan, and their country was in the middle of a war, I believe with Ukraine, and her dad worked for one of the airlines in Azerbaijan, and they landed in Texas, and he just kind of got off the plane and didn't go back. Just kind of got off the plane and didn't get back on. And the U.S. Helped them get the rest of the family over here with refugee status. And Esther was born here, but her brother, who's like a few years older, was born over there. Yeah, he found the line. Dude, what is this? Yeah, it might have been Armenia. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've only been told the story like once. Yeah, it was a good play. It was a really good play though. But what's so crazy about that too? What's even so crazy about thinking about that? It's like, if he didn't make the decision to get off that plane, I wouldn't have found the love of my life. And what's also funny is I don't think I would have become Aspiring Spike without Esther, because she really did push me to start the stream and to start doing this. And so like then none of you guys would have found the stream. Just if he just didn't step off the plane that day. It's so wild to think about the butterfly effect. Ah! I didn't think it was real. Stubborn denial. The Seb Swamp. Oof. This matchup is probably really bad. Just Boomer Shadow. What the hell? Take the Typhoon. Dang, that stub was so good. Deal themselves a damage with Fire Islet. Is this how this run ends? Could jam another wreck. That's probably fine. Could also be fine to wait. It's fine to wait here. It's not like I have a big payoff for the wreck anyways right now. They might get bolted out. I've got 2 bolts there at 9. They know about only one of these bolts. But now they have, Ferocious Stubborn Denial up. Sheesh. Golly. I don't think I'm fighting over this. What is going on? Damn it. Oh, man. If they just cast this Thoughtseize, I get to double bolt them. I think I have to counter this. So they got Murktide. How big is it? It's an 8/8. Okay, so I take 6 here down to 9. I don't need to bolt now for mana efficiency on red because I have the Wilderness Wreck. And we top deck a lethal Fire Ice. Thankfully, we made the swap from Unholy Heat to Fire Ice, right? What a game. This used to happen. Yeah, this happens way more against Boomer Shadow, I feel, than New Shadow. I don't know. Because you have to bolt the Ragavan and DRC against New Shadow, right? You don't have to do that in this matchup usually. Yeah, opponent's like, I heard there were bans. Let's just see what happens if Blurus is banned, huh? Probably want some endurances. I feel like Fire Ice. I know it won me the game. I can't feel like it's one of the worst cards. Something like this. Oh, wait, I probably want to cut the Nexus. Could maybe trim 1 Typhoon, play 3 Spyro or something like that. What's my ban prediction? I never do ban predictions. I always do ban opinions, which is a pretty important distinction, I feel. Play 1 Fire Ice. Where, I want Lurrus to be banned. I would be okay with Bridge from Below or Birthing Pod being unbanned. And that's it. But I don't have predictions because I don't know what Wizards is going to do. And I very rarely what I exactly want happens. But you usually, I think Wizards has done a great job of managing the modern ban list. I also like to see the Legacy format improve. I know that it's been kind of a controversial, shall we say, format lately. All right, you can Tails in me. That's fine. I know it's been a somewhat, yeah, controversial, shall we say, format lately. So I'd be you know, I'd be happy if Legacy players are happy. I would be happy with a shakeup to Pioneer, just like something to draw more eyes on the format, especially because I know people have been playing it and liking it lately. So it would be cool to see that format get a little bit of love. Yeah, I'd also be fine if no changes happen to Modern, but I sure wouldn't mind that Lurrus getting out of here. I think I'll just let them draw. The Pioneer was dead years ago. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, I've been saying that they should ban Treasure Cruise Dig Through Time from Pioneer since like the beginning. I don't know if that's still the problem, but it was like I remember that they banned. Oh, it's been so long. I remember that Inverter was like a really big problem with Dig Through Time, but there were like 2 combo decks that were like big problems with Dig Through Time before they banned Inverter. I'm trying to remember what those were. There were 2 decks that like got a ban in Pioneer that I remember thinking that like they probably wouldn't have needed to be banned if they just banned Dig instead. Yeah, it was Breach, but there was maybe one more. Lotus, yeah, maybe Lotus. Yeah, Lotus Breach, that's the deck, but there was another one I think. Maybe I'm misremembering. No, not Heliod. No, it was before that era. It was before the Theros era. No, it was before the Theros era, I think. So Healy? No, I don't think that was because of Cruise Endurance. I think I Endurance here. If they drown, yeah. But this is not a... Oh, Endurance because of Murktide? Yeah, Murktide's like... I agree. Murktide's like very unbeatable in this spot. No, yeah, but you know, Heliod Ballista wasn't like part... Yeah, it wasn't Nexus. Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. It was... Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, it was blue-green Wilderness Reclamation. They banned Nexus of Fate from that deck, but I always felt like it was Dig Through Time was the card that should have been banned. That was like the really scary card. Whispers of Emrakul, snatching my my Castle Vantress. Okay, so I could take a hit, maybe steal that Shadow. Whispers of Emrakul, huh? Yeah, that was what. Yeah, like the first time that I thought Dig Through should be banned was the blue-green Wilderness Rec deck, but they did not ban it. Instead, they banned Nexus, and I disagreed with that decision. And then there was like 3 or 4 other decks. I'm like, man, if Dig just wasn't legal, this deck would be so much more reasonable. Did Counterspell Endurance? Counterspell Land? Counterspell Endurance. So are my opponent's last 2 cards counterspells? Yeah, I am somewhat interested in Pioneer. I'm not going to play it while the race is still going on, but yeah, Endurance here plays around Stubborn Denial being their last card. It does shuffle away my Deluge, but I think playing around Stub is worth it here. Tails End! Oh, man. Golly. Second time they've Tails Ended this game. Second time it's blown my freaking mind. We should be in pretty good shape here. Yeah, pretty good shape. You're kidding me. They drew Sudden Edict off the bauble? You're kidding me. I know I have the Archmage's Charm. I know it's fine. It's fine. I have the charm. The like basically the only card in the entire format that lets them live here. Unreal. Unreal top deck. That was awesome. That was so cool. Oh, man. Okay, second time today being 4-0 with this list. We lost last time in this spot playing against Living End. I need to use the restroom, so I'll throw up the prediction again. And hopefully we can redeem ourselves from earlier, huh? Ah! Great hands on the play this time. Last time we lost the die roll. This Wood of Foothills needs to be a blue fetch, by the way. We're playing against a Cascade deck again. Kind of looks like it. Ding 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 ding. Get my music pumping. I've never been happier to see an Overgrown Tomb. Playing a Sultai deck? Yawgmoth, okay. Interesting. What is our Yawgmoth matchup like? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, game one. Actually, I beat Doom Lake the other day when I was playing a Reclamation list off stream. The matchup felt pretty good then. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Okay. Probably fine just getting the 3-for-1 off their end, killing the Hierarch. This next turn I've got plenty of lands. Kind of a little floody here though, huh? Gotta counter that one, I think. Was obviously much preferring to draw 2 there. Might be Kahira time. Oh, bailed out from having to Kahira. Like Temur, I think I like Temur more. Just Wrenn and 6, like Wrenn and 6 is just too hard to get away from. Like I think that there's a lot of good white cards, but man, Wrenn and 6 is just so hard to get away from. And the Triumphs are really good in this deck too. MTG bots back? Well, record is still off. Guess we have our precious commands again, huh? Better Walker Modern, Grist or Jace? Probably Grist. Three cards still in my opponent's hands. Gonna leave the Triumphs in deck to cycle. To me, Kahira! Answer the call! I'm bolting the Geist. Then I can, like, if they attack with both next turn, I'll probably block the Young Wolf and then block the Geist. Or if they just attack with the Geist, I'll just trade. A lot of good top decks. Typhoon, Mamer Deluge. Fire Ice is interesting. I think I'm just icing the Geist. Their upkeep because of Court of Calling. I need to draw cards. I need to get like a Typhoon. I need to get some velocity. I can't just like kill a creature here, I think. Another cantrip. No, tell me what card would be good, Mengu. Mystic Sanctuary. Oh yeah, I thought you could do the expansion explosion meme. Yeah, Sanctuary would be cracked. I wonder. I don't remember ever playing a Reclamation Sanctuary deck. I must have though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. Still don't think I counter there. This maybe was correct. I think I'll take 2. Just try to trade here if I can. As soon as I find a shark, like their aggression ends. And I do think that they've got a Chord or Eldritch Evolution. Fetching's probably bad. My life total is really relevant here. At least that's a spell. If I bolt this now, they can't Chord for Yogg without another land. The joke about Expansion Explosion is that it's suggested constantly, but it's not very good. Dude, look at Kihira holding down the fort. She's carrying us, bruv. You can't understand what she's done for us. I don't have a Triumph, unfortunately. I don't think I want to ping a Young Wolf. Yeah, my feelings for Kihira have grown. Invaluable member of the team. Probably dead though. Yeah, we've got lots of crazy top decks. Obviously, you know, we flooded pretty bad, is what it is. This is game 1. And I think this matchup's pretty good. For whatever that's worth. Probably dead right now. Theoretically, could have a crazy series of draws, but probably close to impossible, to be honest. I don't think I'm sideboarding much in this matchup. I don't really like Endurance much against Yogg. It's okay as just like a brick wall, but like getting rid of Undying is like not that real. It's okay like Wrenn and 6- than Hardcast, but just doesn't come up that often. I'm not a big fan of explosives either. Could play Force or Veil Summer. They might bring in Thoughtseize. I think that they will bring in Thoughtseize. They Chord for Blood Artist, and we die. If they had Blood Artist in hand, they would just cast it, so it's not a bluff. I feel like my game one deck's pretty good though. 4 seems good. They usually side out Eldritch Evolution against counterspell decks. And so they just have Chord of Calling and Veil, Thoughtseize. I do feel like the rest of I think my game 1 deck is pretty good against them. Like, I don't know that I like Force of Negation, Endurance, or Veil of Summer more than any of my game 1 cards. I think I'm just resubmitting. That's what my gut's telling me to do. I think it's what I did against Doomwake and won the match too. Yeah, the Chad resubmit. Sounds great. Yeah, match 4 was pretty quick. I'm not sure what it was. If I minus this Wrenn and 6 and they have Stranglegeist, I just kind of lose. I know I fetched Shocked. I think I'm just actually gonna Bolts. I shouldn't have fetched Shocked, but yeah, I think just like not just losing the Geist is worth it, right? Yep. I don't think I'm bolting this now. I don't have a second Stevens in the deck, so I think I just have to go Wrenn plus. The other line was Wrenn and 6 plus that turn. That seemed like actually fine. Yeah, I don't have the second Steam Vents. Damn it. Second Steam Vents would be so important here. It's fine. They've only got 2 cards in their hand, though. Pretty sure just pass back here. Might steal a Hierarch end of turn. It's depending on if, like, I feel like, you know, so we'll see how, like, gassy their hand is, or if we need to counter something, bolt something. Third Hierarch was so unlucky for us, too. Well, they could have just had a second Geist, I guess. Okay, so they are out of cards in hand, at least. I'm just passing here. I can take 4, hopefully. We just needed to brick this turn really badly. Probably should have played that pre-combat. They drew a spell. Outland Liberator. It's okay. I've got a lightning bolt for that, maybe. I do have a lightning bolt for that. Should I make? Maybe I should make a shark here. Yeah, maybe making a shark is best. Because if they attack with 2 different creatures next turn, I can bolt one of them, block the other. Although if I just pass, they do get to flip the Liberator, but that's okay if they flip it. It's still a 3/3 and boltable. Double Spiral seems better. I mean, I would rather Memory Deluge than Double Spiral. Okay, not in bad shape. I get to Spiral because they have Yavimaya too. Well, on top, Vincent doesn't matter. They have Yavimaya. This is also a Temur Triumph. We were looking for some counter magic here, I think. Didn't find any. Probably chump blocking with the shark this turn too. I do have the Kahira to bail me out from the Strangleroot Geist. But I could have Court of Calling. I have to like top deck a counterspell though to beat it anyways. I think I'm just gonna cycle this. Okay, no Court, then cloth this. Let's go. I'm gonna slam the Reclamation. Oh no. Okay, so I have enough mana to play the Rec. This was not what I meant to do though. Oh, I can even tap this to the Yavimaya. Sorry, I meant to cast the Rec first. Nervous sweating. So I have... Oh, they have a spell? They didn't cord when I was tapped out? Oh, it's Force of Vigor. Okay, I'm gonna counterspell that. So I have 8 mana. So I can Deluge, look for a bolt. I've already played 3 bolts though. I only have 1 in the deck. Yeah, so I think I'm just supposed to pass here. I think I'm just... I can take 4. The Blood Artist is already dead. I could take 4, just Deluge end of turn. Or if they play something that I need to counter, I can Spiral in response for Desperation. Yeah, I'll try not to misclick on the fetch. I'll right click on it, I guess. Every time. Just make sure I'm choosing the right one. I got plenty of time on my clock to not, fuck up. The Drew Cord? GG. Take the L. Yeah, losing at 4-0 twice today feels rough. This deck's been performing really well. Maybe I'll play it in tomorrow's challenge. Ooh, open a Fun Raveler. I'll pad my play points. Take the L with grace and dignity. I feel like we played that match decently. Mana base need to look? I don't think so. I know the second Stevens, not having the second Stevens, like, maybe cost us that match, but it was a really weird corner case scenario.